Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Esoterica. It is our first podcast of 2023. Woo! We are so delighted today to have Luciano Wernicke on our guest here all the way from Argentina. Welcome, Luciano. Luciano is the author of Dark Goals, How History's Worst Tyrants Have Used and Abused the Game of Soccer. And this is very timely given that soccer is, well, it's always in the news.
I'm sorry.
The news lately. And we lost Luciano.
Okay, but it is timely with the World Cup and Luciano being from Argentina, having just seen his local team win, his national team, and as not a super sports fan myself, I still found this book really fascinating, and I can talk about it once Luciano joins us again. But the gist of it is looking at how soccer has been used by dictators and governments to promote themselves and to distract the public.
I'm back.
Right.
Hello. So Luciano, tell us a little bit about. You've been teaching sports journalism for 20 years, and you are an expert on the game of soccer. Tell us a little bit about how the idea for this book came about. What was the idea behind the book? You can't hear us, maybe?
I'm sorry. I can hear you. I have problems with I don't know if my internet or I don't know. Let me refresh my internet, please.
Okay. And I will just continue to say the book covers some crazy activities by the likes of Mussolini, Hitler, the Tyrants, and some of the most chilling chapters are about non-governmental, but Colombia, when Pablo Escobar and other drug lords would actually get so involved in a team that they would be like kidnapping and torturing, people in order to make sure they won, and they would be bringing suitcases of cash to referees. And if the referee didn't accept that cash, they were in a lot of trouble. So.
Wow,
that's chilling. It's very upsetting. It made me think, who would ever want to be a referee?
Right.
In a contest like that.
It's interesting. I'm very curious, and I don't know, Sue, if you got that from the book, or we'll wait for Luciano to rejoin. But why soccer specifically? Like, what is it about soccer that appeals to this darker side of like politics and corruption? I don't know if that came out, but I guess we'll ask him when he rejoins.
I think it is literally just that it is, it's the mass popularity that soccer has had throughout the 20th century and the 21st century, not the 20th century, the 21st century, sorry, because we're really only taking up this book from about the 1900s. And I think the mass popularity, the fact that nationalism is just kind of comes very naturally. And there used to be a lot of like really unpleasant racial aspects.
Hello.
Play on a team. Hi.
Can you hear us, Luciano?
I'm sorry. We have problems now because we are in January in summer, and all the people is out of the city. So the government used this time to do a lot of works, and there is a crew working outside of my home, and I don't know, maybe the internet connection is not working very, very well. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
It's fine. Well, let's try. Let's see what we can get out of this so far. But we're talking about the book, and we're really curious what it is about soccer in particular attracts such a sinister element. Like, what is it about soccer? I mean, is it worse than other sports in terms of
Well, I think soccer is the most, maybe not. I am sure it's the most popular sport on earth. Why? Because it's very simple. The rules are very simple,
Mm.
and you just need a ball to play. If you don't have a ball, a leather ball or a professional ball, you can do your own ball with a piece of paper or something. You don't need a bat to play
Mhm.
baseball or something like skis or particular equipment to play American football, for example. You just need a ball. That's it. The rules are very simple. So the people around the world is in love with this sport from maybe 100 and a half
Mhm.
years, uh, and the popularity of this sport is well known, but the governments around the world. Why? Because the government, the politicians, um, the you know the um, the dictators and the democratic politicians know very well that one win into the field in a stadium put the people very happy, and
Mhm.
they try to use that happiness for the evil way sometime.
Right.
I remember Joseph Goebbels used to say, to win a football match is most important for the German people than to win a battle in Russia.
Wow.
Why? Yes, it's amazing, but why? Because they are into the stadium. They are part of the game. Yes, they are spectators, but they are there watching the game and supporting the team, and they think they are part of this movement, sport movement. It's the
Mm.
same for example, in Argentina. Um, 2 days 2 days after the final match in Qatar, Argentina won in penalty shootouts against France. In between 5 to 6 million people, 5 to 6 million people went to the streets to celebrate with the players. Can you
Mm.
believe that? 6 million people on the
That's
streets
crazy.
trying to celebrate. Yes, why? Because we are a very poor country with a lot of problems, political and economics, and the people finally had something to celebrate
Mhm.
after maybe 36 years
Mhm.
from the last uh, triumph in Mexico with Diego Maradona. So we are a very we don't have many things to celebrate in Argentina.
Yeah.
So we have soccer, we have something, and soccer let us be part of this triumph, this championship.
Do you think that the government, the current Argentinian government, will benefit from this World Cup victory the
No,
way you talked
no.
about?
Well, yes, maybe for a while, maybe for 2 days, three
Yeah.
days,
Yeah.
but then in Christmas and the New Year night, the poor people without nothing to celebrate, nothing to eat,
Mhm.
nothing to no presents to give to their kids. What can they celebrate?
Yeah.
Nothing. We have the same problems, and unfortunately, the Argentine players said no to go to the government palace, the pink house
Right.
in Buenos Aires, because they said we don't want to have nothing to do with the government, with politicians. No, we are
Mhm.
football players, we are sportmen, and we are not politicians. So
Mhm.
please don't come to us, because we don't want to be with you to
Mhm.
bring you some fame or some nothing,
Mhm.
because this championship is for the people, for just for the people, not for politicians.
Well, in a
So
way,
they
that's a
say
relief
no.
to hear, because there are many instances in your book where you talk about players, whether it's the British players giving a fascist salute which is kind of at the BBC called the darkest moment in British sport.
Yes.
Or the players in Italy who were told, may God help you if you do not win, and Mussolini going, win or
yeah, you win or you die. Yeah,
I think it does sound like there were many cases where to be a football player was a little dangerous if your team didn't win.
Yes, but we have the social media now.
True.
So the players can be very, very close to the people by social media. So in the old time, the government had not just the government, they have also the media, the newspapers, the radio. I am talking about Mussolini's time, without television, without social media, without mobiles. So now, everything from them because they are, recording everything into the dressing room after the game, and they show us everything. So they don't need the politicians, they don't need the politics, the government, to be close to the people. They can be close to the people for their own, just with the mobiles, or Lionel Messi have I don't know, millions of followers, millions. I don't remember now the number, but more than 20 or 30 million people. It's
Crazy.
a huge kind of people. Yeah, it's very crazy. Maybe more, I don't know. But imagine, they don't need to be next to the politicians to be next to the people. So this is very, very good, I think, for the sport, because I understand in everywhere, in every country, every time a team win a trophy, I don't know, American football, baseball, major leagues, I don't know, all the time, it's good that to visit the president, because the president is represent all the people in just one place. But in Argentina, things are very different. Our president is not today now is not representing all the people, and I know he tried to use the the fame of the players to improve his position and to try to be re-elected next year. So, but now the players said, no, come on, get out of us.
And players have obviously done. They know their history, right? So I mean, you talk about instances in history. I mean, going back to Hitler, Mussolini, the Perons. Like what was in the Dark Goals book? What is the darkest moment, do you think?
I'm sure the Nazi moment, of course, because the Nazis did something really impressive, really incredible. They organized a soccer tournament into a camp with Jewish prisoners, and they showed to the Red Cross. Red Cross members, look, we are wonderful people. Look, we left these people to play soccer and to organize a tournament. Yes, they are into a camp, but we are good people. Look. And when the Red Cross members left the camp, the Nazis sent all the people to Auschwitz, and they killed all of them. That was, for me, is the darkest moment in history of soccer, and of course in my book, because this kind of situation is shocking. Is when I found this story, I cried, because I can't believe how the people could do this, did this. I don't know. It's really. Yes, it's crazy. It's incredible. Why they did this? I don't know. Sorry, I want to cry.
Yeah, no, it is. It is a really dark moment. Do you think that we've?
But because really do you know why? Do you know why it's the darkest moment? Because they put a show just for the Red
Mhm.
Cross, and they
Yeah.
kill everyone. It's different than Mussolini or Peron
Yeah.
or dictators everywhere, because they just try to use the players and the fame and the results, the tournaments, the glory. I don't know, but in this case, they use human lives
Yeah.
just for, I don't know, but
Like a PR
it's,
tactic.
it's yes, to distract the people and try to put in a scene something very, very absolutely different,
Mhm.
180 degrees different situation. uh, in To me, it's darkest even than the Olympics in Berlin
Yeah.
1936, because uh, that situation was very different. And even the glory of the American racer, of,
Jesse Owens.
Jesse Owens. Thank you very much. Yes, he won 4 golden medal, but anyway, Germany won that Olympics.
Yeah.
Germany was the winner, and for Hitler was perfect, because she just want to try to show to the world how wonderful was Germany
Mhm.
in those days. And well, I think the situation in the camp, I mentioned it, is
Mhm.
maybe um, a fake, just to distract the people from the
Mhm.
Red Cross.
Hmm.
Were you at all worried writing this book? When I read the chapter on Colombia and the drug lords' involvement in soccer and the bribery, whether they wanted to be bribed or not, those referees did not seem to have a lot of choice. Um, did you worry at all writing some of this or researching some of this about bringing it to light in such a way?
Is it funny, because I was talking to the son of one of those referees, and he told me my father never never returned to Colombia,
Oh, yeah,
even after Pablo Escobar's time, even Pablo Escobar's death, uh, because this. Can you imagine that kind of situation? To to be put on your knees with a pistol on your head, just to be a referee, and in, despite Atlético Nacional
yeah,
won the cup, not lost. Atlético Nacional won, and anyway, they put the referee on the knees and try to to
yeah,
kill him. That was incredible, because I understand if they bribe the referees to win, perfect. Yes, they win. Okay, they
yeah.
give money to the
Mhm.
referees, and bye bye. Thank you very much for everything.
Mhm.
But they win, and anyway, I don't
Yeah,
know.
you win.
It's why it's really well, but this story, I think, shows us the time that the Colombian people lived when Pablo
Yeah.
Escobar was the most powerful guy in Colombia.
Well, that's what I liked about your book. I felt like I was getting a history lesson in every chapter on what life was like under different forms of dictatorship or just bad government or bullying, criminal leadership. Because it was a great tour of some of the, you know, how awful it was for actual just regular people walking around these days. Do you think that when you look at the World Cup, do you feel confident that none of this is going on now, or do you still think that some countries have problems like this that come through in the soccer?
Well,
Or do you feel like if you
well,
say it,
this
someone's going to point a pistol at your head?
God forbid.
a pistol. I don't know. Maybe. Well, the time change everything.
Yeah,
Now we have the social medias.
yeah,
We have more 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 kind of communication around the
Right.
world. So, but I am sure that the money, yes, still do things.
yeah.
Yes. For example, why Qatar? Why Qatar? Qatar is a very small country. I've been there 3 years ago to give a lecture on World Cup history,
Mhm.
and I thought this is not the right country to organize the World Cup because it's very very small. The country has no enough hotels and buildings or apartments to receive a lot of people from everywhere. Um, Fortunately, we had no problems, with the gangs, with the
Yeah.
fans from everywhere. Fortunately, but and a lot of people from Argentina, for example, had to be in the Emirates or Oman, and they just went to the stadiums the day of the games, and they come back to Oman or the Emirates because the space was not enough, to receive a lot of people from everywhere. And I really don't know why Qatar, because when I see that Canada, the United States, and Mexico will be the next host of the World Cup, I th- I have to say, excuse me, but America enough has enough hotels and locations to receive millions of people, plus Canada, plus Mexico, and what happened with Qatar? M- m- my opinion is that Qatar had to be host with, for example, the Emirates and Saudi Arabia, for example, three countries or two at least,
Mhm.
and organize all together. I know they had problems 3 or 4 years ago, political problems with Iran, with the situation in that part of the planet. But anyway, I think Qatar was not the ideal country to
Mhm.
organize or to host the World Cup. Well,
Mhm.
I would like to know what they will do with 8 stadiums for
Yeah, that's true.
a lot of people. They don't have enough people to
Yeah.
put. It's incredible.
Ah,
Why they waste that kind of money to do that? I don't know.
that's wild.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So you mentioned a couple of times that social media is almost an antidote to some of this more sinister influences in soccer. Um, so, do you think because of the transparency of social media, some of these episodes wouldn't be able to happen in the future,
No,
or find a
not
way?
just this, not just the social media. I think all the television too, and
Mhm.
the new rules with the video assistance referee,
Right.
because now I
Oh,
feel the games have more transparency than, for example, in Mussolini's time.
yeah.
Yeah.
In those days, Mussolini just need to bribe one referee, and maybe you have 40, 50,000 people into the stadium, and that's it.
Yeah.
But now you have thousands of
Yeah,
millions
everyone's watching.
watching the game
Yeah.
Yeah.
live, and the video assistance referee, I think, gave us more transparency in that way. But the video assistant referee is controlled by people. So
Yeah.
maybe you have to bribe the referee, the linesman, and the
Yeah.
people in the in the bar.
Courtroom.
So you need more money, maybe, or more pistols. But it's more difficult.
Yeah.
It's more difficult to
Mhm.
bribe the referees now, and you have a lot of eyes, millions, thousands of billions of eyes watching live
Mhm.
the game. So I think it's not very easy.
No.
Maybe the politicians just have a chance with the players.
Yeah.
They can bribe the players, yes. But in Argentina, it's impossible. Do you know why? Because
Right.
all the Argentine players live in Europe.
Ah,
So
Right.
if
that's
you
true.
say, okay, you have to pay more taxes. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I live in Europe, and
Yeah.
I get my money in Europe. I pay my taxes in Europe. I'm so long, baby. That's it.
Yeah.
So now the Argentinian government has no power to do something with the players. And the players have a wonderful, they are a very high level in the popular opinion, very
Mhm.
high, and the government is very low,
Right.
very
It's
low,
true.
17%,
Yeah. So
17%, and Lionel Messi is 100%.
Yeah. It's
So
true.
what can they do? They don't have tools to take the players and put the players next to them. It's impossible
Right.
too
now.
hard. Yeah.
Interesting.
Fortunately.
Yeah. It's true. Actually, it's very true.
Yeah. Well, I really liked your book, and I like the title "Dark Goals." It's fantastic. Play on words.
Thank you very
How
much.
history's
Thank you.
worst tyrants have used and abused the game of soccer, and maybe it's a tribute to soccer that soccer is still, despite all the efforts to corrupt the players, the referees, the audience, soccer's still going strong. So that's good. Yeah.
Well, this has been
Yes, but
very,
we
yeah,
are we are going to a new we are into a new era from the
yeah,
21st century. The situation is very different than the 20th
Yeah.
century. It's very different because of the television, the media. Now we know everything about all the players, all the clubs or the teams, all the politicians. So it's not easy to
Mhm.
to use soccer for the politicians now.
Yeah.
Maybe in different levels. For example, in
Yeah.
my preface, I talk about Bill Clinton
hmm
and
Mhm.
Pelé, the King Pelé. He passed away
yeah,
3 days ago,
mhm,
and how Clinton used Pelé to try to invite South American countries to the association of commerce, with
Mhm.
the North American countries, and he tried to do that with Pelé as a soccer very important person in all South America. Yeah, I know. Yes, this kind of thing could be repeat in the future, I think, but
Yeah.
I think it's not very easy to arrange a soccer match now because
mhm,
of
No.
all the thing we were talking about.
Yeah.
right.
It's pretty interesting. I will never look at it the same way. And yeah, like
I
I
know
said, it
it's
was a
very
nice
true.
tour of history. So
Mhm.
so congratulations on a really interesting book. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Susan,
Thank you.
and I
Yeah.
hope soon. I hope soon you will have in Canada and America a new book about the incredible soccer stories, but not politicians.
Yeah, just
About
incredible soccer story.
different
Yeah.
amazing things happen on the pitch and outside, also the stadium sometimes.
Fantastic.
We're
Well,
looking
thank you
forward
I
so
to.
much
hope
for talking to us
I
today.
have
Really
I
appreciate it.
have to talk with the people of Sutherland Books, but I am sure they will love the idea.
I hope so too. Well, thanks again, Luciano. This has been lovely. It's been wonderful speaking to you. Again, the book is Dark Goals, How History's Worst Tyrants Have Used and Abused the Game of Soccer. And you can buy it, I suppose, at any bookstore, Amazon, wherever books are sold. Thanks again, Luciano. And we can't wait to hear about the next book.
Thank you very much, Leah and Susan, and I hope to talk to you soon with a new book.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
And
everyone.
Happy New Year to you too. Bye bye.
So,
Bye,
bye.
everyone.